Welcome to Contentology. If you are new on our channel, then subscribe to our channel and enjoy the amazing daily updated content. Alaska is home to some of the most powerful and terrifying tsunamis ever recorded in human history. These were not just massive waves crashing ashore. They were forces of nature that reshaped coastlines, triggered warning systems, and in some cases, changed how we study the planet. Today, let's count down the 5 biggest tsunamis in Alaska, ranked by the height of their waves, from enormous to absolutely unimaginable. Number 5, Yakutat Bay Tsunami of 1899. In 1899, a series of powerful earthquakes struck the Yakutat Bay region in southern Alaska. The strongest of these is estimated to have reached a magnitude of 8.2. Though technology was limited at the time, survivors and researchers later pieced together the scale of what happened. The resulting tsunami is believed to have reached heights of around 100 feet. Massive chunks of ice were tossed ashore, and forests were flattened in areas that had never seen ocean water before. What makes this event so significant is that it gave early evidence of how earthquakes and glacial activity in Alaska could create devastating waves, even when population centers were few. The damage to the landscape was lasting, and it remains one of the earliest documented examples of a major tsunami in Alaska. Number 4, the Unimak Island Tsunami of 1946. On April 1st, 1946, a violent magnitude 8.6 earthquake hit the seafloor near Alaska's Aleutian Islands. What followed was a tsunami that struck Unimak Island with waves reaching up to 138 feet high. At the remote Scotch Cap Lighthouse, the wave hit with such force that it obliterated the entire structure and killed all 5 Coast Guard personnel inside. But the impact didn't stop there. The tsunami traveled across the Pacific Ocean and reached Hawaii, where it killed 159 people and caused widespread destruction. This event wasn't just powerful, it was a turning point in history. It led directly to the creation of the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, as officials realized that the world needed a better way to detect and respond to ocean-borne disasters. Number 3, the 1964 Good Friday earthquake and tsunami. March 27, 1964, marked one of the most catastrophic days in American history. A magnitude 9.2 earthquake, the second most powerful ever recorded, shook southern Alaska for over 4 minutes. But it wasn't just the shaking that caused damage. The real devastation came from the tsunami that followed. In some areas, the wave reached as high as 220 feet. Coastal towns like Valdez, Seward, and Kodiak were hit hard. Valdez was so severely damaged that the entire town had to be relocated. The tsunami destroyed harbors, tore apart buildings, and swept away everything in its path. Over 130 people lost their lives, many of them not from the quake itself, but from the relentless waves that followed. The 1964 tsunami showed how even modern infrastructure was vulnerable to the forces of the sea. Number 2, Icy Bay Landslide Tsunami of 2015. Unlike other entries on this list, the Icy Bay Tsunami wasn't triggered by an earthquake. Instead, it was a result of a massive landslide in October 2015, caused by the retreat of a glacier in Tan Fjord. As the ice melted and the surrounding slopes became unstable, an enormous mass of rock and earth suddenly collapsed into the narrow bay. The impact displaced so much water that it created a tsunami estimated to be about 600 feet high near the landslide zone. Fortunately, the area was uninhabited, so there were no casualties. But the event shocked scientists, who viewed it as a clear warning. Climate change and melting glaciers can trigger tsunamis at a scale that rivals even the largest earthquake-driven waves. The landscape bore the scars. Entire forests were ripped away, and the coastline was reshaped within minutes. Number 1, the Lituya Bay Megatsunami of 1958. And finally, at number 1, we have the most astonishing tsunami ever recorded, not just in Alaska, but in all of human history. On July 9, 1958, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake shook the Fairweather Fault in southeastern Alaska, triggering a massive rock slide in Lituya Bay. That slide plunged into the water with unimaginable force, generating a wave that rose to an incredible height of 1,720 feet. The wave was so powerful it stripped away every tree, plant, and patch of soil up the mountainsides, leaving behind a stark, clear line that is still visible today. Despite the raw magnitude of this event, Only 5 people died. Because Lituya Bay is extremely remote, incredibly, one fishing boat managed to ride the wave and survive. The Lituya Bay Megatsunami wasn't just the biggest wave ever seen. It redefined what scientists thought was possible. It proved that under the right conditions, nature could unleash a wall of water taller than the Empire State Building. In a matter of seconds,